You cannot imagine how good I feel every day I come in. And I don't think there was ever a day when I said to myself, hey, maybe I should try to do something else, because I love, I see a side of these kids that is just so fantastic. Now, don't forget, I've always had really good students teaching Latin, teaching German, teaching French. They were all great kids, and sure, a few of them might have been, not worthy of praise, but I still, we just mix those in with, all the good ones, and they'll come around. I guess when I was a sophomore in high school, I decided I wanted to be a Marinist. And then I went to the University of Dayton, and then after I graduated from the University of Dayton, that's when I was stationed to go to Covenant Catholic, and I taught there for 2 years. And then after 2 years, I was switched to over here. Then I was living at what we call the Student Center. We would have programs for students to come over who might have been interested in a Marianist. And this one time, we invited, she was a nun at the time. We invited their entire group, about 5 of them, to come up and talk to the kids about service. I looked at them, and honest to God, I even went up to her later and I said, hey, are you sure we didn't meet before? I mean, not as a line. I mean, I really meant it. And she said, yeah, I thought the same thing. And she had the same values about service and, doing stuff for other people that I had. From then on, we started to date while I was a Marinist. The dates were helping her do stuff down in the inner city. I mean, it wasn't anything else other than that. And then I finally left the Brotherhood, and then we started to get closer. And I'll say it to the day I die. If I had to do it all over again, I'd marry her again. Listening to her and her experiences, and she listening to my experiences, and I've felt this way all my life, that, if it weren't for Ginger, I would never be able to do the things that I did here. I taught my own children, yes. They were my own kids, but I really treated them like any other student, and I think other students didn't treat them the same as every other student, but I did, and I was lucky. They were all fantastic in school. Even Alex, who has Down syndrome, I taught him Latin, and it was a joy, a real joy to have in class. And so were the others. They were just out of this world. And I'm glad I did teach them. Laura gave me a tough time. When she was in the 8th grade, she came to me and said, I want to go to St. Ursula. And I said, no, you're not. This school was nationally known in regards to math and and other subjects, and there was just no way. And also just the behavior was fantastic. I just thought it was great, and I knew that if she went here, she ended up getting a scholarship to the University of Dayton, full ride. My kids and grandkids are exactly the same. As far as pursuit of academics, I'm just amazed by how well they do academically as well as extracurricular, from sports to doing service projects. Well, Caitlin and Alicia, as well as Mackenzie, all 3 went down to Ecuador, and I'm glad that they came here. See, I felt at home coming to a Marinist school. When I first came here in 1967, my fellow brothers fellow Marians said, "Oh my God, those kids are really terrible. They're gonna kill you." And I was glad that I came. And the kids were not that way. And it was just good to, to see just how good these kids really are. The kids today, they're just great. I mean, I've had kids come up to me in the middle of the hall and say, "Hi, Mr. Hamm," and so forth and so on. "Do you need me to help you?" And they didn't do that 56 years ago. If you wanted some help, you say, "Hey, you, get over here." To me, the kids today are calmer, more focused than the kids when I first started. I can remember a kid who did nothing in class, did nothing in all his classes, and when he was a sophomore, he decided to throw 2 firecrackers in a Christmas assembly, and we threw them out. And this kid I met over at Good Sam Hospital in the emergency ward. When I went over, I had a bad splinter in my hand, and he told me his whole story, how he went to Deer Park after he was thrown out of here. He was thrown out of Deer Park for misbehavior, ran away from home, went to California, joined a fundamentalist group. His mom put him on house arrest, came back to Cincinnati, got back into Deer Park High School. The day before, they were going to dissect frogs, live frogs. He snuck into school, let them all loose. And then he was thrown out of Deer Park again. He got a GED. And when I met him, he was a doctor. And it was like, phew. And from that time on, I would never be negative towards any kid, because they turn out fine. And that's the main thing. I don't care how bad a student is in education and academics. I will never say, "Hey, you cannot do. I totally encourage kids to become teachers. If in any way they get along with other kids, you should really be a teacher. And a lot of them don't, they say no way, but totally encourage kids to become teachers and find out if you can be a good teacher or not, or be a teacher at all. And the only way to find that out is get inside the classroom, be exposed to the kids. You gotta do it. You gotta try. You do what you can do, and if you don't like it, and that's the important part, if you don't like it, not if you can't do it, but if you don't like it, then you try something else. And if they're young enough, there are a lot of jobs out there. Just there were not a lot of jobs for me, that's all. I have the same attitude about teaching now that I had when I first started, and that was teach your class, do the best you can at teaching that class, and get the kids to learn and take them all to the next level. But get them involved. If they're not involved in something, find out why. Find out what the heck is going on. That's why the trips, that's why took them down to Tender Mercies and other places. And that's why the play and, anything I could, come up and think of to get kids involved in something other than schoolwork, I would try. And that has never changed. When I first started to teach, I took over the poster club. It started a long time ago. If you can think of the one thing in your life that you love doing the most, And whether you get paid for that or not get paid for that, you just continue to do it. That's the way I feel about making these songs. And the biggest reason was kids need things to do, be a part of. And that's what I did. I don't think the world out there, or at least in the United States, really think about how teachers really worry about the kids, and it's constant. I mean, you could have the best day, but that one kid, you just really wish you could have done more for, and you worry about it. And that's what I think a lot of teachers do. We worry a heck of a lot. I know I made a lot of mistakes, but the most important thing to me was caring and loving those kids. I even told them for years, I said, hey, you're like my own kids. And they would say, okay, Dad, where's my allowance? And I said, I'm saving it for you. The biggest reason that, that I'm still doing what I'm doing is because of the love that I have for the school, these kids, faculty, and administration. And I'll say it till the day I die. Come here and you will see, building-wise, student-wise, teacher, administration, just why this school deserves whatever you can give. This school needs you big time. And that'll always stay there. There are fantastic kids who have gone through here. There are fantastic kids who are still here. And I invite anybody to come, and I'll show you just how fantastic it is.